Welcome back to Leading from the Middle, the podcast that reminds us that every great leader is also a follower. I'm Bill Moeller, and my mom's words still guide me. Whatever you learn today will be a life lesson for tomorrow. Today's lesson is about criticism, that unwelcome companion that shows up every time you step forward in leadership. If you're doing anything that matters, someone somewhere will have an opinion about how you're doing it. The key is learning to hear without quitting and listening without losing your calling. Nehemiah understood this better than anyone. God gave him a vision to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem, a project that was both practical and spiritual. But the moment the first stone was lifted, the critics arrived. They mocked him, questioned his motives, and spread rumors. Nehemiah's response in Nehemiah 6:3 says, "I'm doing a great work and cannot come down." That single sentence is a leadership masterclass. He didn't debate, defend, or detour. He just kept building. Criticism is the tax on influence. The moment you start creating, leading, or improving, you'll attract attention, good and bad. Your job isn't to avoid it, it's to grow it. Early in my career, I learned this the hard way. I just stepped into a leadership role, full of energy and ideas. Within weeks, someone told me, "You're changing too much, too fast." Another said, "You're not changing enough." At first, I tried to please everyone. I'd adjust my plans, soften language, and second-guess decisions. The results? I was exhausted, and the team was confused. Then one mentor said something that stopped me. "Bill, if you try to make everyone happy, you'll lead no one well." That conversation became my Nehemiah 6:3 moment. I learned to evaluate criticism instead of absorbing it. Point 1, expect it. It comes with the calling. Jesus himself was criticized at every turn for healing on the Sabbath, for eating with sinners, for claiming to be the Son of God. If he couldn't lead without critics, neither can we. Leadership is about direction, not perfection. If you never face criticism, you're probably standing still. So expect it, not as a sign you're doing something wrong, but as evidence you're doing something worth talking about. Point 2, evaluate it. Truth or trash, not all criticism is created equal. Some comes from care, some comes from comparison. Before you react, pause and ask, is this true? Is it kind? Is it helpful for growth? If it's true, receive it and improve. If it's false, release it and move on. Coach K teaches his players to listen with filters on. He tells them to distinguish between feedback meant to build and criticism meant to break. You can't control someone's tone, but you can control what takes root in your spirit. Point 3, respond with grace, not grit alone. Some leaders think toughness means ignoring everything. That's not strength. That's arrogance. Real strength is grace under fire. Carlton Andrews says in The Rugged Entrepreneur, endurance without empathy creates calluses, not character. When you face criticism, respond like Christ, with truth and grace. Thank people who mean well, forgive those who don't, then go back to work God's called you to do. Point 4, refocus on your calling. Criticism tries to pull you off the wall, Nehemiah style. It shifts your eyes from mission to opinion. When you feel tempted to defend yourself, repeat this prayer: Lord, keep me focused on the work, not the whispers. You were not called to manage everyone's expectations. You were called to fulfill God's assignment. Even in the final moments of his life, Jesus faced mockers and accusers. Yet he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." That's what it looks like to stay faithful under fire. Nehemiah finished the wall in 52 days because he refused to come down for an argument. Focus was his weapon. Faith was his shield. If you're building something great and criticism shows up, smile. It means the enemy finally noticed your progress. So what's your practical playbook? Here's your 3 steps to filter for handling criticism. Number 1, pause before you react. Pray before you post, speak, or text. You'll never regret waiting for wisdom. 2, process with perspective. Ask a trusted mentor or friend for their take before deciding what to change. And 3, Proceed with purpose. Fix what's true, forget what's trivial, and keep building. What's my action step this week? Write down one piece of criticism you received recently from work, family, or church. Ask God, is there truth in this that can grow me? If so, act on it. If not, release it and move on. Then say Nehemiah's words out loud. I am doing a great work and cannot come down. Remember, leaders aren't called to be liked. They're called to be light. Keep building your wall. Keep doing your work. Let your results answer your critics. And never forget my mom's words. Whatever you learn today will be a life lesson for tomorrow. Let this lesson be your reminder. Criticism doesn't define you. Your calling does. Thanks for listening to Leading from the Middle. Lead steady, live rugged, and never stop learning.